Thank you. Thank you. This is not an occasion today for the Buffalo Soldier. We came to listen to our brothers and sisters from the civil society. Kwa hivyo naomba niwasalimie. Hamjambo. Civil society hoye. Azimio hoye. Asanteni. I do not have to make an apology because it doesn't matter at what stage one may speak. But I know that the keynote reflections will be made by our brother Raila Odinga. And I know our sister mother may want to actually farm it on provisions of Article 35 of our Constitution, the right to information. And I know that as Kenyans, we are concerned about the state, not only of the economy, but the state of the nation of Kenya today. I made a remark over the weekend to which Dr. Ruto replied quickly. When I said I've been in government for quite a time, can't remember when, any time, I cannot remember at any given time when the Kenya government was unable to pay its workers. And government is the largest employer. At the time when we had the Grand Coalition government, and Ndugu Raila will remember, and Mother, we as an economy would raise 97% of our budget. In fact, this is the one country that has not relied heavily on borrowings from either IMF or whatever, Bretton Woods, to be able to finance our recurrent expenditure. Therefore, when at the level of the head of state, somebody at that level begins to argue that you cannot borrow in order to finance the recurrent expenditure, this is seriously misleading the country. I want therefore to suggest, and allow me to continue with the journey after this, that Sunday in Kamukunji we will be going back to the People's Baraza. Here they are a little afraid as to why we would want to go back to Kamukunji. We have to report progress. I repeat that those who have read a book by the title A Man for All Seasons, you remember, I think Suba, you may have read it. The main character, one of the characters, is the Attorney General of the United Kingdom, that is Sir Thomas More. And he said that in the thickest of the law, he was a forester. I have this sense, because I've been in negotiations in the region, and of course in our own country, that Kenya Kwanza, let me be respectful to them today, are not serious about this dialogue. They clearly are not. And I think out of this consultative forum, the resolutions that will come out, need to call them out. Yeah, you can always know when somebody is serious. How do you prefix dialogue with the denial in the first place? Denial that this is it, we are not on it, and we can only discuss IEBC reconstitution. That's what makes me think they are not serious about dialogue. I agree with Gaucho. Gaucho said, the ghetto president, he said, these people, if they don't want, there's no dialogue they want. And I want to give him a negotiating principle. Ndugu Gaucho, are you in the house? The ghetto president is right there. You find this applicable to Kenya Kwanza. If you cannot dazzle them, dazzling, you can't dazzle them with brilliance, then baffle them with bullshit. These guys may think they're bullshitting us, but I think we'll give them the bullshit. I'm sorry to use that four-letter word. It comes to a time must come when you must call a spade a spade. Either they are serious about this, or they are not. But even if they are not, they need to recognize Kenyans have equal rights, and that you cannot sit on my rights and pretend you are doing me a favor. Therefore, the right to demonstrate, I think Mama Mumbi did it very well on Article 1. We've been quoting Article 37 clearly. I saw Kithure Kindiki making attempt in Parliament, which is actually even constitutional, because either you go back to the provisions of BBI, which made it possible for ministers. We were suggesting the ministers can come from outside and from Parliament, some of them members of Parliament, in order to deal with question time on the floor of the House. Now they're trying to do it through the window. I think, Churchill, they must have learned their tricks on how to become a student. You go to a driving school. That's what they have done. Go to a driving school in order to get them on the floor of the House. But be that as it may, Kithure Kindiki says the police did not have express orders to fire live bullets at demonstrations. Something tells me he's not an insider. Something is telling me Kithure Kindiki doesn't know. We want him then to tell the country, why is it that an attempt, a deliberate attempt, was made on the life of Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga when we did the demonstrations in Embakasi South? Deliberate. Where was a young man I mentored called Kithure Kindiki? So when he comes to Parliament and makes it look so good, he's sanitizing a regime that has already shown they are willing to spill blood, even of the leadership in this country. If it wasn't that Raila Odinga's vehicle was armored, we would be talking a different story. Therefore, from this forum, please join me in demanding a thorough investigation on that attempt on the life of Raila Odinga. Otherwise, it will be casual. We are talking about men and women who don't care about shedding blood. And if they had knocked out Raila Odinga, and the assumption is people will demonstrate for 1 week, for 2 weeks, and they will forget. I think now they know when it comes to demonstrations, Kenyans have a sense of resilience. I agree with others who have said that we should, as we negotiate, if we find there is no good faith, and we said that. I think in the statement that our brother Oparanya issued on our behalf, we have made it clear, if we see evidence of no good faith, as indeed is clearly demonstrable from their own actions and utterances at every level, then the Kenyans have a right to go back to the streets. But imagine taking out Raila Odinga. Would we be thinking about this country? And have we stopped to calculate at whatever level? You assassins, we address you and your financiers. Have you tried to calculate even whether it will be safe for you to call Kenya your homeland? Therefore, we must stand strong. We must stand strong. We cannot be cowed. We love this country beyond what these people can imagine. We have no other place to call home. Kwa hivyo nawashukuruni sana. Remember, Gaucho, if you can't dazzle them with brilliance, then baffle them. Baffle them with bullshit. May God bless you and bless our country.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for those sobering thoughts. I would like us to negotiate. You know,